Hey guys, welcome back to our channel, Funtime Crafts 24/7. I have a project share here for you. Well, I have a couple of things. I was going to share this project with you. We're going to make a card together, and then also I'm going to show you how to make a shaker tag, and then I have one other project to share with you as well. So actually, let me share that project with you first, which is this one right here. Whoops. I was playing around with the new peacock color, making backgrounds, and I ended up making these two cards. And basically what I did was I took a piece of watercolor cardstock that's 3 3/4 by 5, and I smushed the new peacock color onto the back of it. This one a little bit more than this one because it's darker. And then what I did was I turned it and spritzed water on it with my distress spray bottle just lightly, and then kind of let the ink run down it. And I was playing with a monochromatic, just using peacock and white, and so I did that on both of the cardstocks, and I thought that looked really cool, but I thought it needed a little bit more interest. So then I thought, let's stamp the background in peacock. And so I used the Bill de Paisley set from the Stamps of Life. I used this one right here, and it's all integrated together as one stamp. And so I just randomly stamped that all over the background. Found a doily in my stash, the kind that you just buy. I was trying to find my doily 1 die from the Stamps of Life, and be it beyond me, I don't know what I did with it, but it's gone in the void forever. And the other two I have weren't really working for this that I was trying to accomplish. So I just grabbed some of these doilies out of my stash, and I thought they looked really nice anyhow. So then I got a scalloped oval punch, a 3-inch scalloped oval punch out of my stash. Punched it with powdered sugar, embossed it with that really cool leafy embossed background detail. And then in my stash I had this set here, which I hardly ever use, Flowers to Share, and I thought, let's give this one a whirl. So I ended up stamping this vase here in peacock on ocean, and then I ended up stamping this flower right here, and then the Thinking of You, and all these stamped in peacock. The vase is stamped on top of ocean, and then I hand cut it out and then used a sparkle jelly roll pen and enhanced the detail that was in the vase. I stamped the flower in peacock, hand trimmed it out, and then went over it with some blue Nouveau glitter drops. These are Blue Lagoon glitter drops. Went over that, and then I went on the Thinking of You. I punched it out with a 1-inch circle punch, and then edged it with the peacock color, and went over that with the Stardust jelly roll pen as well. Had some of this peacock like leather trim twine in my stash, tied a bow, hot glued it on, and then that panel there, the panel that I made, is matted with a powdered sugar that's 4 by 5 1/4 on an Ocean A2 size card base that's 4 by 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I thought this actually came out really cool. I really like how the background came out. I love the variations of color of the peacock color in it, and then the sparkle and everything else. And I thought these actually came out really cute. So that's those two. So then I was still messing around with acetate and embossing folders, and was getting a kick out of it, and thought, well, what if we added some alcohol inks to the back of them, and what would happen if we did that? And so this is what I came up with. Aren't these the cutest things ever? So let's see. This, I don't have the name of the embossing folders, so I won't go there, but I'll tell you what I used. This acetate embossed panel is 4 by 5 1/4. That's on top of a peacock cardstock from Stamps of Life. That's 4x5 1/4. I punched holes in it and added some brads to attach that panel to the peacock. I used Stamps of Life Big Hugs sentiment die, and it came with a shadow die, and so I just layered them up together and punched them out at the same time out of powdered sugar and then glued that there. Had some sheer guava ribbon from the Stamps of Life in my stash, hot glued a bow on there. That's all on an A2 size powdered sugar card base, and I thought this just came out super cute. And this one has regular alcohol inks in like a magenta, and then a pearlescent I added in there to see what it would look like, and thought actually it came out really cool. It just adds a whole different texture and variation of interest to it. So the rest of these are just alcohol ink. So this is a peacock card base, A2 in size, a powdered sugar mat that's 4x5 1/4, and my acetate panels cut down to 3 3/4 by 5, embossed and then done up in a what color is that? That is let's see. That one is this one here, citrus, a citrus color. And then I cut out Best Wishes from Stamps of Life, just the intricate portion, acetate on or adhesive on the back of the peacock cardstock, cut it out and then layered it on top of there. Some peacock trim, leather twine, hot glued a bow, and then some. To get these two pieces to be held together, I punched a hole there and put a Recollections little button brad in all 4 of the corners, and thought that actually came out super cute. Let's see. That's that one. So this one here, so then out of the Big Hugs here, I had those die cuts there. That's what I layered on the top of that. That's powdered sugar. So this is a powdered sugar card base, A2 in size, lemon matte panel that's 4x5 1/4, and then my acetate panel, which is 3 3/4 by 5. Punched some holes in the corner, did the same button brads. This one uses the raspberry is the color of this one, and then I tried some alcohol markers to color that in, and it worked pretty good. That's how I ended up with the orange there. But then it was going to take forever, and I wasn't really like how it was looking, so I went over it with the raspberry, or around it, and yeah, kind of around it and over it. And so then I had this lemonade ribbon from the Stamps of Life in my stash, tied a bow, hot glued it on there, and thought this came out super cute. So this one's done in raspberry as well. And then the pearlescent Intrigue, is that the name of it? The pearlescent might be Intrigue. And raspberry. This is raspberry and Intrigue. The other one was citrus. Yeah, and that's raspberry. Okay, so then this one here is on some royal blue cardstock I had in my stash from Michaels, A2 in size, on powdered sugar card base, 4x5 1/4. The acetate embossed panel is 3 3/4 by 5, and then this one has let's see, this one has sailboat, and I should keep that one out because we're going to use it. It has amethyst and Laguna, and I just did a stripe of them. I just dripped them on and then washed them with a disposable paintbrush that I can just toss, and then the same little button brads, and then to hold them together, and then these are just glued right to the cardstock. And this one I accidentally I tried staples and I didn't like how that looked, so I put the button brads over the top of it, and I put it in the wrong spot, so I had to like kind of cover up the little mistake there. And so I had some of this eyelash trim in my stash, and got this off of Amazon, and I thought it added just even that much more fun to it. The Best Wishes is from Stamps of Life Best Wishes Best Wishes kit, so I'm not sure what that means, but Best Wishes. and that's popped up on dimensionals. Powdered sugar for the layering, and then the intricate is in that royal blue that the card base is out of. I believe it's a Michaels cardstock. Let's see, this one here. This is the one I was testing out when I was trying this one at first, using my alcohol markers to color in the image that was embossed onto the acetate, and I thought it worked pretty cool. This is a 3D embossing folder though, so you get a lot more of the white detail, and so I think it can handle it. And so this acetate sheet is 3 3/4 by 5 layered on top of a black cardstock that is layered on a 4 by 5 1/4 ocean cardstock. And I thought that's on a powdered sugar card base, and I thought that actually worked. I thought it actually worked really well. And so then had a Stampin' Up! Punch in my stash, layered these up in a pink and an ocean. I think that's guava. I'm not sure what the pink colors are names. That little sentiment is a Stampin' Up! Out of the Many Messages set. I had it already pre-cut. This is some scrubby eyelash trim that I got off of Amazon in a sparkle pink, and tied it on this panel here, and then punched out a tag with a Fisker's tag punch, and the little butterfly was a punch my mom got me the butterfly one, I think from Tuesday Morning, and then the other one is a Fisker's tag punch, a small Fisker's tag punch, and it's just stapled on there. And I thought this came out super cute, and I thought the alcohol markers worked pretty good, but you gotta be. It was much easier just to wash it on the alcohol ink on the back, and I thought they came out just as nice. Like this one here. This is a strawberry cardstock base that's A2 in size, with a 4 by 5 1/4 powdered sugar matte, with a 3 3/4 by 5 acetate panel that I did with, this one is the one with watermelon on it. This one it's not flamingo, it's watermelon and, sunshine yellow. Watermelon and sunshine yellow is what this one's done in, and I just dripped a couple here and then blended it into the yellow, dripped a couple yellow and blended it down into the watermelon, and so you kind of got a bit of an orange there. And see, this is actually some poppy, Stamps of Life poppy ribbon that was in my stash. And then this hello sentiment is from Stamps of Life, the hello and thanks word die set. These two here. And so powdered sugar for the layering, and the intricate is done in a poppy color. And I thought that all just worked really nice together, because the strawberry kind of blends in with the watermelon, which blends into the sunshine, creating kind of a poppy-esque type of color. So I thought that really worked nice. The little button brads to hold it together, and then glued to the card base. So there's that one. And then the one we're going to do is this really fun kind of 4th of July looking one here. Strawberry card base, A2 in size. But the matte is 4 by 5 1/4, as well as the acetate sheet. This one is done with a stars embossing panel. And then on the back of it is sailboat blue that I just washed over it. It has some little Stamps of Life blueberry brads on 4 corners to hold it together, and then glued to the strawberry card base. It has a stitched star, the large one from the Stamps of Life, that big one, cut out in powdered sugar, and then I embossed it with a striped embossing folder in strawberry. And then I used the hello again and cut that out of powdered sugar, and then that same royal blue that was in my stash, I cut the intricate out of with acetate on the back of it, popped it up on dimensionals, used some more of the eyelash trim that I had in my stash and just tied it around it, and left it blank inside. But how fun is that? And yeah, I thought this came out super good, so I thought we would do this one together. So what I did was, I have a different embossing folder that I was going to try out as well. But yeah, and then we'll do the last, because I'll do the shaker card afterwards. So that's the project share there. And so let's make the card. So here is an acetate panel that so I have a couple of pre-cut ones here. This is a 3 3, so the powdered sugar matte is 3 3/4. No, the powdered sugar is 4 by 5 1/4. the acetate panel is 3 3/4 by 5, and it's just kind of on there. And so what I did with this one to get this look is I actually used my alcohol markers. I used these Spectrum Noir blends, and I used TB6 as well as TB4, and I just inundated the back of the acetate with a lot of ink. And then to get it to look like a wash, I put blending solution on it, quite a lot of blending solution, and I used a throwaway paintbrush and then went over all of the ink that was laid down, and it gives you kind of that fun washed effect. And then all the alcohol ink goes into the crevices of where the embossed detail is and looks really fun. And so that's how I got that. If you end up using your markers instead of alcohol inks, you could totally do it. And so let's get started with the panel I have. Let's see, because we're not going to do markers. We're going to do alcohol ink. And so I have this strawberry card base, which is 4 by 5 1/4. I have a matte panel, this is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. This matte is 4 by 5 1/4. And I have my embossed panel. And so to emboss this panel on my big kit, I need this one. Let's move this stuff out of the way. I don't know if you guys use I have a Sizzix embossing boutique, and I primarily do all these folders in that. And this is our Doris Star one. So I cut the acetate down, and you want to make sure your panel is the exact size that you're going to use, because these don't really dry. Like, they dry, but they don't really dry all the way, and they can rub off. So you definitely want to make sure that, so you don't have to put it in your trimmer, because otherwise it'll get on your trimmer and make a giant mess. So if you make sure it's already the size you need it to be, that is super helpful. So what I do is I put this is my magnetic base plate. This is my cutting plate. Obviously, that's nasty, huh? So this is an embossing mat Sizzix makes. I just pop that puppy on there. So I don't have to rework my sandwich. And I pop the acetate into the embossing folder like so. And then I literally put it on top of there and then run it through. I don't want to double do it. So that's how I do my embossing folders on this without having to change the platform on the bottom. So then, after you get this, you're going to, we want that to dry, so let's do that first. You're going to get your alcohol ink or your embossing folders. Your alcohol ink or not your embossing folder, we just did that, or your Tri-Blends markers or your alcohol markers. And all I do is, but I don't want to use that, that's my good one. I'm going to use the throwaway. This one here, I bought a bunch on Amazon. I don't know, 20 of them for a couple of dollars. So I could just do stuff like this and pitch them. And it doesn't actually matter what side you use. But I just put a couple drops on there. And then wash it around. And the more ink you use, the darker you're gonna have. If when you're doing the wash on it, and I try to just go over it once, so that way you don't get the streaks. It just looks like a watercolor wash instead, because what happens is, excuse me, while it's still wet and you stop brushing it, it'll dry like pretty quick to be able to do any kind of blending with it. And then what happens is it turns. And when you turn it over, it looks like it's a watercolor wash. Like so. And how fun is that, right? Doesn't that look really cool? And then you get the shine of the plastic, which is super fun. And then the embossed detail, that much more fun. So we're going to let this dry now. And we're going to work on the little star. And I'm going to pitch this and get rid of these. Okay, so... Alright, we'll deal with that later. And so now what you're going to do is you're going to, out of powdered sugar, cut out the largest star, the stitch star out of the Stamps of Life. you're going to get a striped embossing folder if you have one, or whatever. You can even just do it in stars if you want. Go the opposite way. Put the red, use a blue card base, put the red on the background, and then do this in the blue. Right? Yeah, do this in the blue. So with a star one or something. Swirls or whatever would look really cool on it. Just whatever you want to do with the embossing detail. But what you're going to do is you're going to get your in this case I'm going to use strawberry ink, and you're going to do it on the raised portion, not the indented. You want the one that's raised like that. And then all you're going to do is you're just going to dab enough ink on with your Stamps of Life, because this is water-based. You put this under the sink and it will just rinse right off. It's really easy to clean up. And you just dab it on there. Just making sure that you get enough of the area that your image will fit. Because you can do this for a good night, just about anything. And so then once you lay it on there, you definitely don't want to move it. And then we're going to do the same thing. Let's see, we're going to pop this in here. We're going to run it through our machine. So there's that. Aha! Isn't that cool? So then we're done with that, and I'll clean that later. And it doesn't matter if it, excuse me, if it sits, because it'll wash right off. It might stain it a little bit if it's like red or something, or a really dark color, but I haven't had that happen, and I don't wash my stuff for a while. But I also don't mind too, so don't take that into account either. I don't mind if it has the used look. Okay, so there we have that, and let's see. And so now what we're going to do is, and so what I've done is I used the Hello in this one, and I cut one out of powdered sugar and the other one out of the blue that I had in my stash. I have some ribbon that we're going to use. This is Stamps of Life. I think this is a blueberry sheer ribbon. And then I'm going to use the same brads. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my panel to make sure that the alcohol is on the back of the acetate panel when I go to layer it. And I don't really want to move this around too much. So once I find this spot, we're going to go ahead and punch the holes and put brads in. So what I do is I take the edge of my punch, and I line it up with this, and I put it all the way in. So that way when I go to do all the other ones, I'm roughly in the same spot. Like that. And you're going to go from the same direction. And then we're going to come up here, all the way up to the top of the white cardstock, is what I'm doing. You just want to pick a point that works for you, to line it up, that you can see really well. And then we're going to do that. And then we're just going to take these little brads, and I'm trying not to move it around so that way I don't smudge the ink, the alcohol ink, that it stays in one place. Don't worry if you do, because it still looks cool, even if there is a bit of smudging. See, like I got a bit of smudging there, but it doesn't. It still looks cool. Especially once we get everything all layered up on it, it'll look even better. See, but how fun are those little brads, right? We don't use these near enough, I think. And they are fun. They add a different element, a different texture to the card, which I think is super fun. And then if you guys don't have eyelash trim in your stash, OMG, get some. It is fun. Eyelash trim is a hoot. Okay, look at how fun that is. Okay, so then we're going to layer that here, but first we're going to put our star. And I was thinking I'm going to make mine go this way, and I want my stripes to be straight. Will that fit? That'll fit on my card. I think that'll be really cool. Let's see what, and then we'll do that. And then we'll run our ribbon and tie a bow there. I think that'll be really cool. So let's get some glue. And I use art glitter glue. It's so funny it's called art glitter glue. For the longest time, I thought it was for glitter. Like it had glitter in it. And then, I don't know if I was reading somebody or somebody told me it doesn't have glitter in it. I think my mom. It was so hilarious. I'm like, why is everyone using art glitter glue for stuff? Isn't that a waste? Why would you want sparkles on something you're not going to see? And then I was like, no, that's just the name of it. Is that straight? Are my lines straight? You guys, are my lines straight? I think that looks straight. That's pretty good. Okay. Oh. Yeah, still straight. Okay, so let's go ahead and put some glue on the back of this. Isn't that looking cool? Oh, this acetate thing is so fun. That is a hoot. Okay, and my star is still inside my card base, so I think I'm going to leave it. I'm not cutting anything off of that. And, okay, so now let's get our, this ribbon. We'll tie our little blueberry ribbon on. Okay, this. Alright, I think I'm just going to whack a chunk off of here. Huh? Oops. Don't spill the brads. Oh, we should go buy the brads. So these are blue. You can see them. Wait. Okay. Maybe we should just tie a knot. That could be fun. And it would be faster. Oh, but I got that big chunk. Okay. Okay, let's not give up the ship yet. We haven't even tried a bow. Let's just try a bow. Oh, I'm on camera. My bows are camera shy. Come on, little buddy. You can do it. Ah! Oh, my heavens. Wait. I think it's working. We can trim that. We can trim it. I got a fix for that. Hey. Okay. That's not so bad. And it's even going the right way. How cute is that? Okay. All right. Hey, we're keeping it. It looks cool. Okay, so is it looking cool? I think that'll do. Right, guys? That'll do. Okay, so let's make some cute little tails. That'll be fun. That's fun. Okay, so now we'll do our little hello. Peel the little backing off. If I had blueberry, I would totally use that color because that's like the perfect Americana color with the strawberry, I think. So pretty. This one's fun too, though, because it has texture. I'm pretty sure it's a Park Lane. But we should put dimensionals on it. And these are Stampin' Up! Dimensionals. They're my favorite. They come in a tiny size too, and they stick. Oh my goodness, they stick like no tomorrow. Come on, son. How much do we love this? Like this? How do we like? Do we like that? Oh, done. Boom. And look how quick that is, right? How cute is that? I love it. So what do you guys think? Okay, so there's that. Now next, we're moving on. The other thing somebody was curious about were how I made these shaker tags. And since I had the acetate out, I thought, hey, let's just go ahead and do one. So what we're going to use is we're going to use the Stamps of Life stitch tag dies. We're going to use the largest two. So what you do is you take just the largest one, and you cut your base layer out in whatever color you want. Since we're doing a patriotic theme, I thought let's go with that. So I got one out of blue acetate. You're also going to cut one out of acetate. I got the white there just so you can see where that's at. So this is acetate, and this is regular cardstock. Then what you're going to do is you're going to double up the tags. So like this tag fits right just inside the square of the larger one. So you're going to want to tape that down. Tape them together like this because you have to do a couple of them. So you're going to cut this out in foam, and what you're going to end up with is this, and you're going to discard the middle. And then that's going to be your frame for your shaker bits. This one's thin, so I did 2 of them. And so we're going to stack them up, and they have adhesive on both sides. Then you're going to cut another cardstock for the top, which is going to be to cover over the fun foam. It's your top frame piece. And so when you stack them together, you want a cardstock and you want your foam, and if it's thin, you want 2 foams. Singularly, you're going to cut your base and you're going to cut an acetate piece. So now let's layer it up. So then the only other thing you need are shaker bits. So let's stack these guys up. And the thing is, when you cut the foam, when you layer them up to cut the foam, you want to cut your top at the same time because they'll layer together easier if you do. Not always perfectly, but easier. So then we're going to peel this one off because we're going to put another layer of fun foam. And I try to, if I can, and I remember, I try to use a similar color. If you cut it out of white foam, generally it's thicker. You don't have to usually cut 2, but a lot of times it's fun to have a colored, a colored shaker too, though. Oh, come on, little buddy. So obviously if it sticks together, you just pull it apart and then reassemble. There we go. Oh. And it is not as much fun if there we go. Oh, that piece there is a bit jinky. I bet I could just cut that off probably to make it straight. So let's just do that. Okay, so if it gets janky, just trim it. Yeah, that looks cool. Okay, so now what you want to do is you want to put your shaker bits in. Since we're going with red, white, and blue, this is a candy cane from Stamps of Life shaker bits, out of the last release. The last shaker bit release. I'm pretty sure it was the last one. She did a couple in a row. I like to put quite a few of them in there. Whoa, I should have shook these out first. I didn't realize they were going to be, like, in there. Oh, I need a different color. Come on. I was hoping. Oh, there we go. There we go. There's the little sea beads. Okay, I think that's going to be good enough. And then what you want to do is you want to take the adhesive off the top of that one. Very carefully, though, because this part, the sequins, will like to jump around. All your little shaker bits will try to have a party and they're escaping. Okay. Well, Lord willing, this was all in frame, huh? Okay, and so then what you're going to do is you're going to add your acetate. And then press it down. And that is the shaker bit done. Look at how fun! Now you just need your decorative trim piece. And so this one I'm just going to add glue to. And I don't put adhesive on these because it's easier to shimmy it on there with glue. For me, it is. But you could just cut this with acetate on the back as well, and then just adhere it. I try to manipulate it, though, depending on where the frame ended up. If I didn't get it quite straight or something. And art glitter glue is so strong. And if you just let it set with a block on the top of it, if it's not laying flat, it does just fine. See that? So then you can just shimmy that up. See, you can kind of put it where you need it if you use glue. If you didn't get something quite just so, that's perfect. Bam! There you go. And that's how you make a shaker tag. Isn't that the cutest thing ever? And this was from when I made the barbecue cards with the shaker that were a shaker tag. And then you can just layer whatever you want on there. You can still put like you can actually put twine through the top of it. Let's see. Yeah, how fun is this little eyelash trim to go in there, huh? Like that. Oh gosh, how cute is that? Like super fun. Okay, that's kind of long. Let's do it like right there. Like how cute. And then we'll just tie it. And then we'll be able to just put a little sentiment on there. Let's see. And I'll just wait to put the sentiment on or put it on a card. And there you go. But isn't that cute? And so there you have that little shaker tag. And then our super fun alcohol acetate background with the embossing folders. Thanks guys so much. Hope you're having a fantastic weekend. Until next time, happy crafting. Bye-bye.